recommendations is to make sure in the app you say you don't want cutlery. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Janu, and today I'm going to be sharing with you zero waste hacks and tips on ways that you can reduce your waste this Earth Day. And the great thing about the tips I'm going to be sharing with you, most of them won't cost you anything, or they're just super affordable. So let's get into the video. Before we jump into this video, I want to give a huge shout out to Real for sponsoring this video. Real is a toilet paper company. They sell bamboo toilet paper. It's super sustainable. It comes completely wrapped in paper, and then it comes in a cardboard box. So from start to finish, it's super sustainable. Bamboo actually doesn't take that long to grow, so it's more sustainable than paper, and it's 3-ply toilet paper. And for sustainable toilet paper, it's definitely one of the best on the market. What I love about Real is they give back and they work with communities that don't have toilets and give them access to toilets, as well as providing us with a sustainable way to live our everyday lives. So I definitely love them. I will put a link in the description box for you guys to get $10 off your first order. Hopefully they're back in stock when you watch this video. If not, they should be back in stock by the end of April, but I'll still leave the code down below, because when they're back in stock, you should definitely go check them out. First tip is in the kitchen. So I would recommend taking veggie scraps like from onions or celery and things like that and making it into veggie broth. So it's just another way to use your food more than once. About 40% of all food in the US is wasted, so this is definitely a great way to use it if you can't compost, and you can make great yummy veggie broth and it doesn't cost you anything. So that's my first tip. When people are trying to reduce their waste, my first recommendation is to realize where you're making the waste in the first place. So I would do a waste audit and kind of go through your trash and see ways that you are making waste and what are the items that are making the most amount of waste. Is it plastic Ziploc bags? Is it plastic water bottles? Where are you producing the most waste? And then you can start from there and cut back. And maybe your first step is switching from a Ziploc bag to a stasher bag. Or you can reuse the Ziploc bags that you already have, and that won't cost you anything. I know growing up, like my mom used to reuse the plastic baggies and keep using them and using them until you couldn't use them anymore. So you can definitely do that instead of just throwing them out after you've only used them once. My next tip is to not buy any water in plastic. I know water filters do have a little plastic in them. It's a better option and cheaper than buying cases of water bottles. So one that you can install on your faucet, or you can get one like a Brita filter. Those still have plastic in it, but it's a better alternative than buying big cases of plastic water bottles. You can also just buy charcoal itself. I know some people kind of think it's weird, but you can just buy charcoal and put it in your water, and that works just as well, because that's basically what water filters are, is charcoal. So in the description box below, I'll link different places where you can just buy the charcoal or sustainable water filter. Tip is reuse jars that you already have. I know a lot of people, when they try to go zero waste, they want to go out and buy all these fancy jars, when a lot of times you're bringing in jars from the store, like pasta jars or salsa, that you can just easily use, because you can boil the jar to get the sticker off of it, and then you can just easily reuse that. I'll use that for bulk shopping, but then I'll also use that to store my leftovers in. So I don't own any plastic Tupperware, so that's definitely a great option if you don't want to go out and buy all these fancy, glass jars. Just use the pasta jars or whatever glass jars that you already are bringing into your home from other food. Is a great easy way to just get in the habit of using glass and staying away from the plastic. My next food waste saving tip is to freeze your bread. So I live by myself, and I usually buy a whole loaf of bread in bulk. I know right now things aren't available in bulk, but usually what I'll do is I'll get a whole loaf of bread, and then I'll cut it in half, and then I'll freeze the one half and then keep the other half in the fridge. And the one that I freeze, I just wrap it in beeswax wrap. It's super easy to clean. You can reuse it over and over and over, and it's not plastic, so the chemicals aren't getting into your food, and it's also way better for the environment. Buying the beeswax wrap is actually better for your wallet in the long run, because the beeswax wrap, I've never had to throw it out. but I'm sure it's gonna last you a long time versus buying single-use cling wrap. Not only is it terrible for the environment because you cannot recycle that, it's also, you're just throwing money down the drain because you're just using it once and throwing it away. So I definitely opt for using beeswax wrap and storing food that you know you're not going to eat within the week or two in the freezer, so you're not wasting any food or wasting your money that you spent on the food. I know a lot of us have been ordering takeout, and one of my recommendations is to make sure in the app you say you don't want cutlery. I know there are certain apps where you literally have to check if you want it or not. I know some don't necessarily have it, but you can put in the comments like, don't give me any silverware. And it's just an easy way to reduce your waste. Obviously, the takeout containers tend to be pretty wasteful, but even the cutlery, like if everyone said no to cutlery, it can make a huge difference, and you can just use the fork and knife that you have at home. I actually don't own paper towels. I just wash my hands and then dry them with reusable towels, and I'm good to go. So I think just paper towels are super wasteful, and they're easy things you can just say no to. So a lot of things for me when I was transitioning to being zero waste, low waste is just saying no to a lot of things. So like saying no to using a plastic produce bag. And if I forgot my reusable produce bag, I would just kind of throw it on top of my cart, and that would be that. And then I would put it in my reusable bag. So I'm not bringing home all these single-use plastic baggies, or if you want, you can keep those plastic bags and wash them out and bring them back to the store instead of buying new, or instead of buying reusable produce bags. But I have them, they're pretty affordable, super easy. But again, if you don't want to spend any money, you can just reuse the plastic bags that you already have, or just throw them straight into your reusable bags when you're in the store. Everyone has to wash their body, and most people usually get body wash that comes in a plastic container. But what I would opt for is switching to a bar. Not only is the bar better for the environment because you're not using any packaging, or they usually will come packaged in a cardboard box if you can't find it package free, but it's also saving you a lot of money because a lot of my bars, they're like $1.50 and they'll last me, you know, almost 2 months, and it's saving you so much money in the long run, and it's way better for the environment. And my last tip for this Earth Day that everyone can do is to support sustainable creators. So like myself, I'll link other people down below that are living a low waste, zero waste lifestyle, and that are trying to get more people on board with being more sustainable. So having people watch our videos, like our posts on Instagram, comment on them, make a huge difference in terms of income for them and for myself. So if you can support sustainable creators, that makes a huge difference. It doesn't cost you anything. You're scrolling through Instagram anyway, so you might as well like and comment on their posts, especially sponsored posts. It makes a huge difference because then they're able to get more sponsorships and they're able to charge more money. So it makes a huge difference. So definitely, while you're scrolling through Instagram, like those posts by sustainable creators that are really making a difference. Anyway guys, I hope you have a great Earth Day at home and you're staying safe. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.